So if you really like the ocean, but are maybe feeling a bit nervous about going in, here's 5 reasons why snorkeling might be for you. Hello everybody, my name is Lou and I'm a lifelong ocean enthusiast, or as we like to call it, a water baby. I've essentially been snorkeling since I was like 9 years old, and by this point in my life, I'm a certified scuba diver, a certified free diver, and I'm just basically out in the ocean every single week of my life. The first reason why you should try snorkeling is because you will discover a whole new world. I mean, remember the 70s where we were just going bonkers around space exploration and the Americans were trying to beat the Russians and the Russians were trying to beat the Americans to the moon and all of that? Well, to this day, the ocean is actually still considered the last frontier. And the reason behind that is because 70% of the ocean is actually still unexplored. We don't know what's out there. Bit scary, I know, but exciting, also exciting. The ocean remains one of the least explored and understood parts of our planet. Less than 20% of it has actually been mapped out. In fact, scientists estimate that as much as 91% of marine species are yet unidentified. I mean, how mind-boggling is that? And now, well, you probably are not planning to go down and explore and find the lost city of Atlantis on your first snorkel. It's still, like, going into the ocean is still a bit like going into outer space. It's just out of this world. But it's conveniently right in our doorstep, so yay! And again, well, maybe the marine life that you'll encounter when you go on your first snorkel is probably within that 9% that we already know and have identified. It'll still be new to you. So one of the things that I really enjoy the most when I go snorkeling is just taking pictures, be it with my camera or in my head, and then coming out. And I've got a lovely fish identification guide that I just like delve into to try to recognize what the hell did I see in the ocean, what's it called, what kind of fish is it. I know, I'm very geeky, but it's very exciting, trust me. So yeah, I cannot tell you just the amount of times that I've been snorkeling, seen this lovely new creature and being like, ooh, who the hell are you? And then coming out of the ocean and spent like the next 2 hours just Googling incessantly to try to find what this lovely creature was. Honestly, thank God to Google picture search for that, because they're making my life way easier. And also, bit of a sideline, also thank you to all the snorkeling groups, because sometimes the fish ID and all of that, like you're still like, oh, is it not? There's this 3 other fish that look similar. Facebook snorkeling groups, very useful. So yeah, if you're geeky like me and are considering snorkeling, get yourself a fish ID guide. They're your new best friend. But seriously, snorkeling opens up a whole new world for you. There's beautiful underwater gardens, there's a wealth of marine sea life, just coral reefs, fish, you name it. It's just out of this world, it's gorgeous. Reason number 2 why you should consider snorkeling is it's actually quite affordable and accessible. So contrary to things like scuba diving, for example, which usually cost an arm and a leg to get into, you really don't need much to get into snorkeling or to try it out. Essentially, if we take it down to real basics, you need a mask, a snorkel. That's it. I mean, if you have fins, they help, they're good. But honestly, with a mask and a snorkel, congratulations, you're snorkeling. So it's really low cost and low barrier of entry to try it out and see if you like it. And usually you can get like a set of mask, snorkel, and even fins in things like, you know, your local Kmart even, or like Target. Sometimes even a grocery store has them, especially things like Aldi, for example. If all of this is if you're in Australia. If not, what I'm saying is just like, they're very convenient and like most stores will have a snorkeling kit. So if you're unsure and don't know whether you want to get into it yet, just get a very cheap set of snorkeling gear. They cost you probably around $50. Give it a go. And then if you like it, then you can actually get your own gear, but give it a try. The only one thing that I would say though, because it might make it or break it for your first experience, is make sure that the mask fits well. I have another video where I talk about how to assess or gauge whether a mask fits your face or not, because if it's not a good fit, water will leak into your mask and it can be a bit unnerving if you're not used to it at the beginning. So you don't want to have that as your first experience. So yeah, just gauge your mask and then if it's good, just go for it. The other thing is it's a sport that is really open to any fitness level. As I said, I started snorkeling when I was 8 years old, and look, I've gotten into sports later in my life, but as a kid, I was not a sports person. I just hated everything related to sports. I was a drama geek. So if I could do it, you can. Not saying that, but really, you don't need to like be super fit or anything to go snorkeling. It's a really relaxing sport. It's the perfect mix between relaxation and fitness. So yeah, like it's a great way to get fit even, if that's what you so desire. And also, it's also available for any age. Like I started snorkeling as a kid, but my parents, they're well into their 70s and they're still snorkeling. So there's no barriers in terms of age. There's no barriers in terms of fitness. There's no barriers in terms of cost. Seriously, what are you waiting for? Yeah, in terms of fitness, it is actually a quite gentle sport because the best conditions to go snorkeling are generally when there's little to no swell and little to no wind, which makes the sea quite calm in those conditions. So you're just like swimming about, kicking here and there, looking at all the little fishes. It's quite nice. And if you're a bit concerned about safety because you're a beginner and maybe you're not a very confident swimmer at the beginning, 2 things you can do. Number 1 is get a life vest, and that way you can just float if you get tired. 3 things you can consider actually. Get a life vest, go with a organized tour where you have a guide that tells you come here, go there, and that way, and that they will keep an eye on you essentially. Or number 3, just ask around and say, ask if a place that you're thinking of going is beginner friendly. Because people will tell you. And if it's beginner friendly, it's a shore dive, most likely it's not very deep. So if you get tired, you can just stand up, So yeah, don't let fitness, age, or cost stop you. Just go. I kind of already touched on this, but the third reason why you should try snorkeling is because it is a perfect fit between relaxation and fitness. Because it is very low impact, it has very low impact on your joints, so it's very gentle for you. But because you're essentially swimming a lot, it's also great to build strength and cardio. I don't know if you've heard it, but I hear it all the time. Swimming is the best exercise. Well, you're swimming, you've got a bit of help with the fins. Not that much, arduous, strenuous swimming, but it's nice. Kind of like delving deeper into that relaxation part. The ocean is an incredibly peaceful place to be in. Once you're in there, everything's just quiet, you're just hearing the water. Sometimes there's a little clicking sounds of the little rocks and little creatures that are here and there. Creatures. Anyway, it's really nice. There's really nothing that I like more after a very, very busy week at work where I'm just my head is rushing and I'm overwhelmed, than to just go into the ocean and just forget about it all and just sit with myself, look at pretty things. It's like moving meditation. There's no way you can just be worried about anything because you're just seeing the expanse of the ocean in front of you and there's gorgeous creatures all around you and colors. It's just... there's no way you can come out of that feeling blue or angry at life. And I really have nothing to base this on because I don't do yoga, at least not a regular practice. But I think that if you like things like yoga, I'm pretty sure you'll like snorkeling because it has that element of mindfulness, of recognizing where your body's at, of being present in the moment, of just focusing on your breathing. So yeah, I think if you like things like yoga, you will probably really enjoy this too. The 4th reason why you should consider trying snorkeling is because it's never the same thing twice. There's this one joke about Heraclitus that I absolutely love. So, for starters, who the hell was Heraclitus? Heraclitus was a pre-Socratic Greek philosopher who's famous for saying that no man steps into the same river twice. And there's this joke that, the holidays come up and Heraclitus' wife comes up to him and she's like, "Hey, Heraclitus, what are we doing for the holidays this year?" And he's like, "Oh, well, we're going to the river Alpheus." And the wife is like, "Oh man, Alpheus again?" And Heraclitus is he just loses it. And he's like, "I said that it was not the same river." It's probably funnier when you read it or see it as a meme than... Anyhow, I laughed a lot when I heard this the first time or saw it. I laughed. I'm sorry for my jokes. Anyway, much like Heraclitus says about the river, this is so true for snorkeling. Because there's so much out in the ocean that you can't control, like you can't control if the dolphins decided to come have breakfast at this particular part of the bay today, or if it's sunny or cloudy, or if conditions are, there's more wind or less wind, or if it's cold, or if it's hotter. A lot of this is like dependent on external factors to yourself. You can't really foretell what you're going to see on a snorkeling outing. So it doesn't matter that you've already been to one place. If you go back, you'll probably see something different, which makes it for a great sport because you never know what you're going to find. So there's always an element of novelty to it. If for those of you that live in Melbourne, where I'm based, hi peeps. One of the most popular snorkeling spots here is called Ricketts Point Sanctuary. Great place for beginners, but I can tell you the amount of times that I've been to Ricketts, and every time I've seen something different. I've seen everything from fiddler rays, Port Jackson sharks, a whole bank of Australian salmon. I haven't seen them, but people have seen dolphins there. It's so nice. So there's always this element of surprise that keeps you going back to the same places, and that makes sure that it never gets old. And last but not least, the fifth reason why you should consider trying snorkeling is because it's kind of like a gateway drug to other underwater sports, but it's not a bad drug. It's a good drug in the good way. I don't know if there's such a thing, but the point is it's a good addiction. Honestly, you could do worse than going snorkeling if you're addicted to anything. My point is, snorkeling is so easy to try out that if you like it, it then opens the door to a wealth of things. So for example, if you start thinking, oh, maybe I want to go deeper and I want to look at things from a different perspective, you can consider trying freediving. If you want to go deeper and stay there for longer and not have to come up to breathe again so quickly, you could consider scuba diving and then go and see some wrecks that are like at 20-something meters deep, you know? If you like fishing already, for example, and you want to combine snorkeling and fishing, you can try spearfishing. If you like photography, you can try underwater photography. Seriously, the possibilities are not endless, but so many. And there's something for everyone. And this is kind of like the first step into a whole new direction. So it's really, really exciting. In the end, it's really your journey to make. But snorkeling is a great place to start to fall in love with the ocean. And after that, you can use it to build your confidence. You can use it to progress little by little, to get familiar with the sea, and then just build it up from there. So there you go. Those are my 5 reasons. Hopefully I've convinced you. Please go out. Or if you know someone who's a bit hesitant, share this with a friend. Maybe I'll convince them. I'll do the work for you. If you're already a snorkeler and are keen to try out freediving or scuba diving, check out these other videos where I talk about what they can bring into your life. And if you're ready to go into the water and are just like, let's go, I've also got a gadgets and gear series where I talk about the gear that you need to take your first plunge. See you next time.